Greetings everyone, here's Lodric again. This is the game War in the Pacific Admits Edition. This is my game against KilRoy. This is the new map version 27, so we're still playing with scenario 1, but with additional dot bases and some changes to industry on the map. And also road and rail is a little more complicated and challenging for Japan. Good, unloading Kopeng. And also here in South China. These are all small side shows. I had here the opportunity to attack again a heavy ship. San Francisco was here, but yeah, this last 2 weeks there was I think 10 heavy ships. And out of 10 possibilities I had only one successful strike against a light cruiser. Carriers, battleships, heavy cruisers always miss. So I was successful against allied cargo, tankers and everything, but not the heavy units. So far really KilRoy lost nothing super important. No carrier and only a bare small numbers of battleships. So San Francisco making bombardment here in Comac. And this time, this is always this risky. He damaged and destroyed some zeros on ground, so I have no cap fighters. Prince Harry also escaped torpedo attack. Nothing here. Good, one cargo ship getting intercepted. This is always okay. There was a PT boat, I think out of fuel, so this is system damage building up. So I make my air campaign against KilRoy's outpost here in the Marshall Islands. More bombs dropping on the ships in port. So every day more ships are sinking in these operations for KilRoy. But for every ship I sink here, maybe a new ship will slip. Shipyards, east coast of America or west coast, wherever. there's a mini strike going for my airfield here. Not creating too much damage. This is a main attack. Unluckily, KilRoy disabled some of my zeros, so I have here not the full potential of my cap fighters. Still, I can take at least some of this incoming airplanes down. And we're fighting here over a Japanese base now. So I lose no airframe, at least in this report, no direct. KilRoy lose some torpedo bombers, dive bombers, and more important for me, fighters. And he can also not create any damage because there is nothing in this base. I more or less empty the base. This is now the British attempt. Strafing the airfield, but I have also flag. Okay, so I lose a zero on the ground, but I also killed some Fulmer. This flag. The Vindicators, normally I can kill them all, but there's no zero left on duty. And Express really hitting here my subs hard. Yeah, there's also some oil to catch and mini Dutch Space Force. My tanks arrive already, kicking the Chinese retreating forces. And they're even strong enough to... This is not mountain terrain or rough terrain, but the Chinese, they have no cohesion more, braking, and I have only some small tanks filling off the cliff or whatever. It's now really pushing them, and they retreating back to this mountain hex because I control this hex. I think the hex changed owner some days ago. And then the force is always trying to retreat to the next base, I think. So maybe this base was near. Or maybe they're going to this dot base. But they are now out of road connection. This means they are maybe safe because I cannot catch them. I cannot go in a hex without the road. But they're also out of action, out of the map for a long time before they can enter any combat situation again. Then my division also clean up here this leftover Chinese forces. Not, force them out. Kopeng also cannot hold. Some PBYs here and Hudson's getting destroyed on the ground. And taking here the base. That is the Allied bombardment. Maya bombardment. More bombardments. Now KilRoy, after the last battle, KilRoy switched to bombardment. Some more dot base fall to the Americans. Always small fish. And now I'm in March, and this is maybe more or less the beginning where you can also start upgrading more and more ships with better anti-submarine equipment. Most important is sub-chasers. Half of your sub-chasers the real sub-chasers, not the local assistant sub-chasers. You can upgrade with the mod 2 edition or modification, that you can also maybe hit allied subs in deep water, but the problem is still that even if you hit, you need a dozen hits because the damage is still too small. Anyway, today was again high losses for allies. Ground units destroyed on the ground, but also in the air. For me, only 5 airframes and only 1 killed pilot. Okay. Ship sunk. Last turn was hard to say, maybe more, but this is official sunk here. Some bombardments and strikes, nothing too critical. I have here 2 cruiser formations for maybe blockading or trying to intercept anything going to for Cylon. Not sure if there's really much to catch. Also trying to get here the north coast of Sumatra now under control. And closing in on the last forces in Jakarta and Merak. Nothing really to say here. Kopang fall, but well, it's only a small base force there normally. Here is allied carrier formation. A lot of ships here. My carriers, I moved more or less in the position of Tulagi because I was not sure if maybe KilRoy go for strike on Tulagi, so I try to engage here first, so I have an airbase nearby and maybe KilRoy must split his forces and I can focus. But it looks like the KilRoy is already breaking and retreating to the Australian coastline. So, and I am simply out of fuel to make any high speed run, so I can only catch with cruise speed. So yeah. On the other hand, KilRoy lost here a lot of airframes, or maybe even more, getting disabled because of damage, so his potential strike craft is lower. I lost here only 1 pilot here today, so this is 1 killed pilot today belonging to this air group. But I lost also 5 airframes on the ground in total. But at least I have more or less enough aviation support to fix this damage airframes. And my pilots getting also more experience. But you can see that some of them have really low experience. Some of these pilots are not really top, but it is average okay. And if I can lure the enemies with my low flying shitty pilots and then my elite pilots getting some more kills for this, then it's okay. So, and KilRoy catch here a lot of these small dot bases with, if you want to capture them, do this. I don't really care this. I really need only to hold here 3 bases with my core forces, and all of the rest I can lose temporary. To conquer something is easy, to maintain it and hold it is much more normally this challenge. I'm here out of supplies, so I cannot really, I think, reload here any torpedoes. You can see I have 17 torpedoes left, but I cannot add additional torpedoes because I don't have at least double supplies of the requested supplies. So I normally need here roughly 4,500 supplies that I can add more torpedoes. If there's even a target to make, the torpedo attack run. I'm not so sure why my on training because of fatigue maybe. This was only on search, also fatigue, only search. So this turn I had maybe a purely only search mission because fatigue and other stuff, and I bombard I think only with this air wing. Yeah, this one was on port strike. But you can see even if I fly in 10,000, there's always flak and system damage, so I always have 2-3 airframes after every strike going for damage maintenance. So you cannot do this non-stop. This is yeah, also risky if you attack too many times, and maybe KilRoy sneak here some fighters in, and then I cannot escort. I could escort, but I don't have air wings left because now I don't have so many zeros to fight everywhere over the map. This is scenario 1. With scenario 2 you can have simply everywhere something, but with scenario 1 you must always choose where is your focus. And I better have some areas with a lot of air power and win the air war, and not trying to defend everything at the same time and losing everywhere. Good. Then see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.